we go. Okay. I should probably turn up my volume. Maybe I should turn up my volume a little bit for my audio. Okay. Advanced audio properties. Okay, let's just try 2.0. Okay. I want to see how that sounds. How does that sound? Just try 2.0. Okay. I want to see how that sounds. That sounds okay, I guess. Maybe it could be a little bit higher though. 3.0. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. So, I know I just did a talking about tech episode basically yesterday. But there is so much news happening in this whole entire March month that it's just crazy. Like, there are so many new phone releases that there's already been like 15 major phone releases, I think. But there is also a lot of rumors, and so that's what all these tabs are up here for. So first thing that I didn't actually talk about it. This is actually a pretty big deal. Because, you know, the Realme series usually only gets released like once every 6 months, so it's pretty big deal, you know. So the Realme 8 Pro and the Realme 8 gets released with a 108 megapixel sensor. So that sounds pretty good. But you also have to remember that there's also this phone called, well, most of you probably know it already, the Redmi Note 10 Pro and the Redmi Note 10. And so these phones aren't worth it at all because of the, you know, of the Redmi Note 10 and Redmi Note 10 Pro. However, it's still pretty important. So, first of all, the Realme 8 Pro has a 108 megapixel sensor. So that's like the main, that's the main camera. And, it's okay. You know, it's a pretty good camera, and that's what it's trying to be. It's trying to be a really good camera. But then you also have to, you know, you have to think, oh, what other phone has a, has like a really high resolution camera and is also actually 108 megapixels? That is the Redmi Note 10 Pro. It has a 108 megapixel camera, and it also has a Snapdragon 732G, while the Realme 8 Pro has a Snapdragon 720G, which is much worse. Well, not that much worse, but it's still, you know, much worse than, you know, the it's worse where you can tell, enough worse where you can tell a difference, if that makes sense. Yeah, so you can kind of tell a difference between the, you know, the Snapdragon 720G and the 732G, but it is a good sensor, you know, and you've also got, you know, they claim that you can get, you know, like almost telephoto-like quality at like 3 times zoom, but I don't know how right that is. And it's Super AMOLED, but it's not 120 hertz, which the Redmi Note 10 Pro has. And yeah, well, I think an advantage that the Realme 8 Pro has is 50-watt charging. I think the Redmi Note 10 Pro has 33-watt charging, but the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a larger battery, and I would much rather choose a larger battery than faster charging. And then, you know, that's mostly this, you know, that's mostly what the Realme 8 Pro is. But then there's also the Realme 8. So this actually, I think I was actually wrong about the camera. It's actually 64 megapixel camera. However, it's an LCD display, and it's only 90 hertz. So you can actually get the Redmi Note 10 5G that has 90 hertz and is LCD for basically the exact same price. And yeah. Oh wait, actually no, I was wrong. I thought it said it had a 90 hertz display. Um, yeah, it actually has a 60 hertz Super AMOLED. Well, okay, well then you would compare it to the Redmi Note 10, which also has a 60 hertz Super AMOLED. So yeah, and it has a worse processor. It's just not that great. I don't know why I was wrong. I swear I thought it was a 90 hertz LCD. Well, anyways, yeah, the Realme 8 is a really confusing product right now to buy, and I really don't recommend you to buy it. I recommend like maybe something like the Redmi Note 10 Pro, Redmi Note 10, Poco X3 Pro, what's some other phones? Well, there's also the Xiaomi Black Shark 4 and 4 Pro. And this is obviously a little bit more expensive, but it's actually not that much more expensive. This is actually a really great deal. Now, I would still say that I think that the OnePlus 9R is a better deal than this. I think it's not because I think this is a gaming phone, so it's first of all it's not going to have as good of a camera than the OnePlus 9R, and it also has what else? It just more of a gamer phone. Oh, and also the punch holes in the middle. I don't like punch holes in the middle, but it does have a 144 hertz screen, and it also has 120 watt charging. And actually, it really depends, like which one you would really want, because like in my opinion, I'd probably just choose the OnePlus 9R. Yeah, but you know what is really cool? This whole thing, so this has the Snapdragon 870, while the Black Shark 4 Pro has an 888, and that's really good. But guess how cheap it is? It's really cheap. Black Shark 4 is $383, and $415 for the higher gigabyte variant, and then for the highest gigabyte variant is, well, highest end is like $505. So that's really cheap. Like the OnePlus 9R is $550. So I would compare it more to the Black Shark. But it is still a decent amount cheaper than the Black Shark. So it's really in between. So I don't know if I'd be able to compare either of them, but it's yeah, I would say that in my opinion, if you're willing to import this, then yeah, sure, you should consider buying this. But if you're not really, I don't know if I'd really get like a gamer phone. It's just not really a thing that I would really get, but so yeah, in my opinion, I don't think these aren't gonna be released in the global markets. So I don't think it's, in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna be a phone that most people are gonna buy. I would say most people are gonna buy the OnePlus 9 or 9R, and I think that's a better deal. But that's just my opinion. But speaking of another competitor, Samsung releases their Galaxy A52, Galaxy A52 5G, and Galaxy A72. So I'm pretty sure most of you know that I hate Samsung. Well, I don't hate Samsung, but I strongly dislike Samsung and its software. That's what I mean. And I'm not really a big fan of their decisions. So, for example, let's just have an example right here. Galaxy A52 is how much money? I believe it is, okay, around, like, let's just say $400 US. So around, let's just say $400 USD. So for $400 USD, you can literally get the OnePlus 9R basically, and it is like 100 times better. This is such a bad phone in my opinion for the price. It has a 90 hertz display only. It's AMOLED, which is good, but it's only 90 hertz. The punch hole is just so annoying on the Galaxy A52. Also, the bezels aren't really that good. It does have IP67 water or dust resistance, so that's kind of good. It has a 64 megapixel sensor, which is fine. It's probably just going to be as good as a IMX 586. Yeah, I don't really see the need for a gaming phone, exactly. Like, I don't think that gaming phones, you know, like the Blackshark 4 Pro, aren't that good. Like, I was originally actually considering the Asus ROG Phone 3, and then I was like, no, because, like, gaming phones, they're not really that good. Like, there's not really a point to it. So, yeah. And then, oh yeah, so there's the Galaxy A72, which is a little bit better. It has a Snapdragon 720G chipset, and this is for like $450 US, around that price. Like, how much? Okay, I don't know how much this is, but I know it is a lot. Like 450 euros. 450 euros is 531 US dollars. Okay, so for 531 US dollars, you're literally getting only a 90 hertz display. You're getting a Snapdragon 720G chipset. Yeah, I know. It's like the OnePlus 7 Pro you can literally get for like $200, or you can get it for even if you get it for $300, that's a better deal than this phone. This is not a good phone. These phones are, yeah, complete jokes. These are not good phones. I 100% don't recommend buying them. They're probably going to be the best selling phones of this year probably. However, I still 100% do not recommend buying them, but I still know that people are going to buy them. So, yeah, unfortunately. And then, ooh, this is really exciting. This is, the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra was my favorite phone of last year. It's probably going to be, the Mi 11 Ultra is probably going to be my favorite of this year. However, I could be wrong, but so far the Mi 11 Ultra is looking super good. So, first of all, you're getting a 50 megapixel Samsung ISOCELL Bright GN2 sensor, which is so good. It is absolutely amazing. And it also has a tiny display on the back. So, with the Asus ROG phone, Phone 5, it had like a tiny display. It's kind of like that, but it looks like, here, this is actually what it looks like here. You can kind of see it. So you can kind of see, this is the cameras, and then this is the display right here. So you got two cameras. These are huge sensors, and then you got 120 times zoom, which is crazy. And this is definitely going to be one of my favorite phones, because I know it's going to be like really cheap. It's probably going to be $760 US, just like last time, or maybe $800 US. Obviously, it's not going to be released globally, but maybe the Mi 11 Pro will. But yeah, really looking forward to that. Yeah, the Samsung S5 can literally probably beat the Galaxy A52 and A72. Like, it's that bad. It's not good, these phones. Like, they're not good. Hey, you know what's a really, really, really close competitor to the Mi 11 Ultra, though? It's going to be the Huawei P50 Pro Plus. So, it looks really weird. Like, really weird. Look at this. This is, oh yeah, the S5 did have a Snapdragon 800 processor, yeah. So this is the Huawei P50 Pro Plus, and it's really interesting. I mean, I hate this whole camera setup right here. I mean, it's probably gonna be super good. I'm not really a big fan of their software, but maybe with Harmony OS, you know, it might be okay. But I do think this is probably gonna be one of the best camera setups. This phone and the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. These are going to be probably the best camera setups. So I'm definitely excited for this phone. I think it's going to be released. When is it going to be released? It's going to be released. Oh, no, they're going to delay the launch. It's going to be announced in May. Oh, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. Yeah, it's just such a joke. Like the S5 could even do better than the Samsung Galaxy A52 and A72. I don't actually know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure that's true. You know, and I actually do like the waterfall display that they're doing, and it seems like it's gonna have dual stereo speakers, so that's really cool. And the I mean, the camera bump is just so ugly, but these are just rumors, so yeah. Okay. This is definitely a big launch. Poco X3 Pro and the Poco F3. So, first of all, the Poco X3 Pro has a Snapdragon 860, which is between an 855 Plus and like an 865, but it's basically an overclocked it's basically like an overclocked what is it called? Overclocked 855 Plus. Like the 855 Plus was already overclocked, but now it's even more overclocked. So it's really good. But what I think the biggest disappointment was that this is an LCD display. But to be fair, this is only like 249 euros, so that equates to like probably like 260 US dollars, let's just say. So for that price, that's pretty good, you know. Main camera's a little bit disappointing, but good phone. Poco F3, this is the first time, what I would say, where I don't think this is particularly the best value phone. It's still a good value phone. Like the Poco, like usually Poco F phones are usually like really, you know, competitive, but I don't think that this is super competitive. Now the price is pretty competitive, but I would say comparing to the OnePlus 9R, I'm still probably gonna like the OnePlus 9R more. But this is a good phone, you know. It's a good phone. I wouldn't say it's like that good, but it's pretty good. It has, you know, basically everything that you need, and it's only 349 euros, so that's good. Yeah, it would make more sense if they used the 845 in these newer phones instead of the Snapdragon 720. Yeah, I 100% agree. Like the Snapdragon 720 is not fast in 2021 at all. So, yeah, so that's the Poco F3 and the Poco X3 Pro. And speaking of the OnePlus, since I was talking about the OnePlus 9R a lot, this is the OnePlus Nord N1. OnePlus Nord N1. So, yeah, I guess it's supposed to be the successor to the Nord N10, and this looks like it's actually a pretty nice phone. I don't really know what the any of the specs really, but what I'm expecting is probably maybe like a Snapdragon 765G maybe, or Snapdragon 750G, probably 750G. Probably an LCD display that's 90 hertz or maybe 120 hertz. I have the forgotten flagship phone. Please search this Vivo X3. Oh yeah, I know the Vivo X3. That actually, I was considering that phone over the when I was searching for my, you know, different Android phones. I was looking at the Vivo X3. It's really cool. Like it's a completely waterfall display. It like goes around the edges. It's really crazy. Like also it's like a dual pop-up camera, which is really cool. And only thing that didn't make me buy it is that the price. I was trying to get it from Swappa, and it was, I think, it was Craigslist actually. I think the person was selling it for like $550, and I only had like $400 to spend. So, yeah, I only had like $400 to spend, so I got the OnePlus 7 Pro. And then obviously I switched to my Redmi K30 Ultra. So, yeah. Oh shoot, I need to charge. Yeah, it was really expensive. Yeah, it was really cool. Like the camera's really good. Basically everything's really good. The only thing that actually I don't like, once again, like there's no 90 hertz or 120 hertz, but also FunTouch OS. I'm not a big fan of, even though I haven't really tried it, so I wouldn't really know how good or bad it is. So yeah. And hopefully this phone is good, but it might not be. Okay. So now, OnePlus Watch. Am I going to be buying this watch here? I would say probably not. I'm probably instead going to be saving for, where do you buy phones cheap? Well, I buy phones cheap from a lot of different places. So, actually, my first recommendation would probably be giztop.com. I got the Redmi K30 Ultra for $369, and it's so good. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really good phone. And I also recommend trading Shenzhen. I recommend eBay, Swappa, Craigslist sometimes, but that was only for the Vivo X3, and that was pretty expensive actually. So I don't really recommend Craigslist. But my main recommendations is eBay, Giztop, and Trading Shenzhen. Those are probably the best. So yeah, hopefully, if the OnePlus Watch goes down in price to like $99 at some point, I'll buy it. Yeah, sure. It's actually a really good watch. It's just that I'm focusing on more trying to get maybe the OnePlus 9 or 9R by like, by my birthday or something like that. I'll hopefully be able to get it. And I what I really want? I really want the OnePlus 9 Pro, but I probably won't be able to get it at any time. So, what I do hope, though? Maybe the OnePlus 9 will actually go down in price after, like, a month or two. Like, that's usually what happens. Like, by, like, $100 or $200, then I'll be able to buy it. So, yeah. And, now let's talk about the iQOO 7. This is another really good phone for, well, this is for $550 US, so that's really good value. iQOO 7's a good phone. It has 121. Yeah, I don't really like iPhones anymore. Yeah, same. I used to like iPhones. My last iPhone was an iPhone XR. That was in 2019. And then after that, I just switched to the OnePlus 7 Pro. I was like done with Apple. And I actually really liked the OnePlus software. I thought the main problem that I was going to have was with, the OnePlus software, or, the software with Android, and I was actually really surprised. I really liked the software. So, yeah. And, the iQOO 7 is coming to India for $550. Good deal. Recommend it. I don't know if I would choose it. I would probably actually, if this would ever get released in, like, globally at some point, then I would probably buy this. But it is actually, now that I think about it, this isn't launching in India. But actually, I probably wouldn't, though, because it has 4,000 milliamp hour battery. I just can't stand that. It has really good stuff, but it only has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, so that's not good. And then, what else? Oh, the Xiaomi Mi 11 phones, like the Mi 11 Pro and Mi 11 Lite and the Mi Mix 4 are coming pretty soon. So I'm pretty excited for that. The Mi 11 Pro is already talking about them, but the Mi 11 Lite has a 1080p plus AMOLED 90Hz display. I'm pretty excited for that. But I don't think it's going to be like the best value phone. Unless it's priced like a lot less than what I'm going to think, than what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking that it's going to be priced at around $450. The best iPhone now and then is the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the XS Max. The new ones are now trash. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Though when I tried it in the store, it was actually pretty awesome. But probably my favorite one was the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I wasn't a big fan of the iPhone XS Max, but I was a fan of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Definitely. So I'm not a big fan of the of the new iPhones. I think that they get rated way too highly. Like, I think the only reason that people buy it now is because it's Apple and that it's, ecosystem, and they don't really consider other phones. And I'm trying to actually convince one of my friends to get a Android phone, but they're not getting it, so that kind of sucks. They're getting an iPhone 11 over, like, I was suggesting like a OnePlus, I was suggesting I think like a OnePlus 9, and they are instead picking an iPhone 11, and I'm like, oh yeah, Mi 11 on eBay for $650, yeah, that's a good deal, but I think the Mi 11 Lite, I don't think it's going to be worth it. I think the Mi 11, like the regular Mi 11's really good, like, that right now is probably like one of my favorite phones. I don't think it's my favorite phone, but it's one of my favorite phones. It's really good. But I'm not a big fan of I'm not really that big of a fan of the Mi 11 Lite. It just doesn't look that good to me. I mean, it says IPS LCD 120 Hz, but I know it's going to be AMOLED and 90 Hz. So I'm not really that excited for it. Because there's other phones like with 120 Hz. and so I'm not really considering like 90 hertz phones that much anymore. I mean, I will still consider, 90 hertz phones, but I'm not like, I can't really go back to 90 hertz because I'm on 120 hertz. My iPad is gonna die, so you gotta make it quick. Okay. So yeah, this is basically the Mi 11 Lite. That's what I'm expecting. And it says the all the different storage options. So it says 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Actually, that's the only one option. That's pretty good. Personally, I don't like the light versions of smartphones. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the light versions of smartphones. I do like the OnePlus 9R is kind of like a light version, but it doesn't say obviously light or whatever. But I actually really like the OnePlus 9R. Gotta make it quick until Q&A. I mean, I could do a Q&A, I guess. I mean, that's basically all the news stories that I had. I mean, besides the OnePlus Watch wasn't really a news story, but yeah, I could do a Q&A. I actually need to charge my computer so I could actually wait. Here you go. I need to charge my computer. I'm actually on my Windows computer, but I'm like looking through the chat on my Mac. So yeah. There were some pretty interesting stories, I would say. Like, I think that, there's a lot of good potential phones. Like, I would say, like, if I had to give, I would give the A52 and A72 a, like, 3 out of 10 rating. I would give the Poco X3 Pro a 7.5 out of 10 rating, like, in terms of value. That's what I'm talking about. Poco F3, I would give a 7 out of 10 rating for value. I would give an iQOO 7 like a 9 out of 10 value. Mi 11 Ultra is going to be such good value. It's going to be like 9.7 out of 10 value. Black Shark is probably a like 8.5 out of 10 value. I wonder what happened to Razer gaming phones. No more Fortnite, no more $19 Fortnite cards. Razer gaming phones, oh my god. Razer gaming phones were pretty interesting. I actually kind of like the Razer gaming phones, Like, I liked the original Razer phone. Obviously, I wasn't going to buy it, but when I, first saw the Razer phone, I was like, well, that's actually kind of a cool phone. And Fortnite, oh my god. I can't stand Fortnite anymore. Fortnite is so bad. So, yeah, I just hate Fortnite. I'm just not a fan, but that's just me. So, yeah. And I think that, like, the Huawei P50 Pro Plus is going to be so expensive. It's going to be like $2,000. It's going to be so expensive. And OnePlus Nord N1 is not going to be that good of a deal, in my opinion. I think I would probably just rather choose like the OnePlus 9R or whatever. So hopefully the OnePlus 9R actually goes down in price. Maybe it would go down to like $400 on eBay or something like that. I want to see if there's any listings on like. I think Razer was mocking Minecraft with its boxy design. Yet definitely, like, oh my god, it's so funny, like how like boxy the Razer phone was. It was literally like a brick. It was basically like a complete square. It was really, really weird, but it was it was so weird. Ooh, there is a couple of OnePlus 9 Pros selling for $1,459 on eBay, but not to the price. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying it on eBay yet. Not until a little while. I don't think it's gonna be on eBay. I wonder if the 9R is even one listing. Is there on eBay? One listing. The Samsung A80. Yeah, the Samsung A80 was actually really cool. I liked the Samsung A80. I was definitely a fan of that phone. Yeah, definitely a big fan of that. So, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any OnePlus 9R listings yet. I'm so excited to get a OnePlus 9R at some point. I don't know when. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end this stream by now because I've been on it for about 30 minutes and it's like 7 o'clock by this point. So why? One of my phones just turned off. But maybe you should start Q&A until like I can't stay up until 10. I gotta go to school actually tomorrow. Like tomorrow's gonna be my second day of in-person school. So yeah, I'm actually gonna end the stream right now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later. Okay.